Bennett was just 15 years old, a high school intern at the Philadelphia Tribune, barely old enough to sport a full mustache when he embraced his first big break in journalism. He got to cover a story because no other reporter was around.
It was at that point that I understood that media communications was really a double-edged sword. It could be used as a tool to build or a weapon to destroy. And from that point on, from the very beginning, journalism was never occupational with me. It was always missionary.
As a founding member of the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists, Paul wrote the organization's bylaws, which laid the framework for the bylaws of the National Association of Black Journalists. Paul was just getting started. He created the community-based Philadelphia Spirit newspaper. He reported for WHAT, WDAS, and KYW Radio. He returned to the Tribune as its youngest editor-in-chief and co-founded KYW-TV's Saturday Tribune show. After retiring from the Tribune, Paul wrote a weekly column for the paper.
That's it. Oh my goodness, look at Mr. Paul, you guys.
Paul's community interest led to the opening of his Discovery and Learning Center for Children. But not yet done with the Fourth Estate, he's planning a new media venture this fall.
We need to get back to the original mission of what it is we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be change agents. We're supposed to, most people see things as they are and ask why. We're the ones who should see things that never were and ask why not.
It's a good thing Sandra Long's direction is clear. She is deputy managing editor of news operations at the Philadelphia Inquirer.
I love this business. I became a professional journalist after working on my high school newspaper, my college newspaper, 33 years ago in 1974, and I have never looked back.
Sandra ventured forward, working for the Wilmington News Journal and the Philadelphia Bulletin. Often the only woman in the newsroom, she pushed for inclusive coverage of overlooked people and issues. The evolving journalist was a founding member of the National Association of Black Journalists. In 1984, Sandra walked through the doors of the Inquirer as a reporter. Today, she is the highest-ranking African-American at the Inquirer and the highest-ranking African-American woman at the Philadelphia Media Holdings, which owns the Inquirer and Daily News. She has received numerous journalistic honors, including as a Pulitzer finalist for coverage of the 1991 chopper crash that killed Senator John Hines. Sandra continues to put her heart in the story. This spring, she shared her personal journey through breast cancer treatment on an internet blog.
It is a business that does make a difference.
These are pictures that I took myself. And
Elmer Smith's award-winning column about Somalian relief efforts did what his columns typically do: honor the facts, but stir the heart. As an editorial columnist for the Daily News, Elmer's topics range from life, death, struggle, and triumph to education, parenthood, and politics.
I used to think that this was something that I'd do, that it wasn't who I was. But as time goes on, I know to a very great degree this is more than something I do. It really has an awful lot to do with who I am.
Elmer has also been a sports writer and columnist. His career began 34 years ago in City Hall, covering the Green and Rizzo administrations for the Philadelphia Bulletin. He's received numerous honors for his work. Elmer has shared his passion for journalism and truth talk as an adjunct professor at his alma mater, Temple University. Recently, he offered his views on the radio as host of WHAT-AM's daily talk show, The Exchange.
A lot of times, the imagery that tends to denigrate us and does not give us the credit that we is not so much selfish or purposeful. It's that people don't know.
This trailblazer continues a mission he took on in the beginning.
It's a proper representation of our community, which have been misrepresented so regularly. And if we're not careful, it still will.
Warrington has established herself as a multifaceted communications expert. Just off the mayoral campaign trail with Congressman Bob Brady, she's the legislature's director of communications.
I have my congressional ID.
For nearly 8 years, Karen worked in City Hall as press secretary for Philadelphia Mayor W. Wilson Goode. She has also been an independent voice for political and social empowerment.
Hello and welcome to the very first edition of the Karen Warrington Show. Today we're going to be tackling the very real and serious issue of school violence.
As a journalist, Karen produced and hosted television and radio programs on WHAT, Comcast, WKBS, and WHYY, often focusing on issues that did not register on mainstream media's radar screen.
We cannot have political empowerment. We can't advance in terms of the economics of this country if we don't have a voice.
Karen was the first African-American woman to run a news operation in Philadelphia. She helped set a serious tone for urban news radio as an award-winning news director and reporter at WDAS.
Our voice is our power. And without our voice in the media, we as a community will not be able to shape the political advancement of Black people or the economic advancement of Black people.
Trailblazers.